Hello everyone, and welcome back to Finance and Fuel, your trusted guide for all things cars, fuel and finance here in South Africa. I'm Lazan, and today we are talking about an important topic that's been gaining a lot of transaction lately. It's a balloon payment. When buying a vehicle, if you've been shopping around for a car, you've probably heard the term, but how does it really work, and is it the right option for you? Well, also being focused on some of the most popular brands available in South Africa in 2025, including the Suzuki, MG, Renault, Jetour, Audi, Bike and VW passenger and commercial and JAC, whether you are looking for something compact, luxurious or for work, will help you navigate the world of balloon payments so you can make a more informed decision when choosing your next vehicle. So first thing, what exactly is a balloon payment? Well, in simple terms, a balloon payment is a large lump sum payment made at the end of a car's finance agreement. It is typically much higher than your monthly installment, and it's designed to keep your monthly payments lower throughout the finance period. Here's how it works. When you finance a car, you'll have a contract with your lender that outlines how much you'll pay each month for a fixed period. Usually it's 36, 48 or 60 months. The balloon payment is the portion of your car's value that gets deferred to the end of the term. So let's say you are buying a VW Golf in 2025 and the total price of the car is around 400,000. Your monthly payments could be quite affordable depending on the term you choose and the size of the balloon payment. But at the end of the term, you'll have to pay off the balloon amount, which could be something like 100,000 Rand or more, depending on the contract that you signed. This structure makes cars more affordable upfront, but the balloon payment can be a bit of a financial hurdle if you haven't planned for it. It's not for everyone, so let's talk about who might benefit from this option. So, exactly who could consider a balloon payment? Well, balloon payments are best suited to buyers who want lower monthly payments, but plan to either sell the car or refinance the balloon amount at the end of the term. It is ideal for those who want to drive a higher value car but don't have the budget for a full month's payment, for the full monthly payments. Sorry guys. For instance, if you are looking at something like the Audi Q3, which may have a hefty monthly payment without a balloon, the balloon option could make the car more affordable month to month. The same goes for the VW Tiguan. If you want to drive a premium SUV, a balloon option might make sense, especially if you don't plan on keeping it for too long. So it is also an attractive option for those who anticipate their income might increase in the future or expect to sell the car at the end of the term. For example, the MG ZS and the Renault Duster are popular choices for young buyers or families who need something practical and affordable. But with a balloon, they get to enjoy the car without the full financial strain on high monthly payments. If you're a business owner and you are looking at the VW Transporter or the JAC-T6 as a commercial vehicle, a balloon payment could also give you a bit of more flexibility, as it might fit better within your cash flow. These vehicles are essential for work, and with a balloon payment, you can keep monthly costs down, which is great for business. I mean, who doesn't love that? All right, so we know who might benefit, but let's dive into the advantages of a balloon payment. The biggest one is your monthly payments that are lower because you are deferring part of the car's value to the end of the term. The monthly amount you need to pay will typically be much more affordable than the traditional financing. For example, let's take the Suzuki Swift with a balloon payment. You might be able to drive the car for much less each month compared to the standard finance deal, making it easier for you to budget. This is especially useful if you have other expenses like saving for a home or investing in your business. Another big advantage is that you can drive a more expensive car without stretching your finances too thin. Let's say you want to step up to the VW Golf, but it's just outside of your budget. With a balloon payment option, you could afford the car's monthly payments. And then at the end of the term, decide if you want to pay off the balloon, sell the car, or refinance the balance. You also get flexibility in long terms. Since you are not locked into one option, you can make a decision closer to the end of the term based on how your financial situation looks. Maybe you'll sell the car or upgrade, or perhaps you'll just refinance the balloon payment and continue enjoying the car. Finally, with a balloon payment, you are still benefiting from the fact that most cars will depreciate at a slower rate in earlier years of ownership. If you are looking at a new car like the, let's say, Bike X25, this could mean you are paying a much smaller balloon amount on a car that holds its value fairly well. Now, as with any financial product, there are risks, and balloon payments are no different. While they offer lower monthly payments, the biggest risk is the lump sum payment at the end of the finance term. If you haven't planned for this final balloon payment, you could end up in a bit of a tough spot. Say you are driving the Jetour X70 and after 5 years, you've only paid the lower monthly payments, but at the end you owe 150,000 Rand in a balloon payment, and suddenly you are faced with figuring out how to pay off or refinance it. This is where budgeting really comes in. If you're not careful, you might find yourself stuck with a large payment you can't afford, which could force you to either refinance at a higher interest rate or, in the worst case scenario, give your car back. Another thing to keep in mind is the interest rate. On a balloon payment, deals can sometimes be higher. Even though your monthly payments are lower, your overall cost of the vehicle could end up being more expensive. If the rate is higher, especially if you don't plan on holding onto the car for very long. Also, cars like the Audi A3 or the VW Tiguan are luxurious, but they can lose value quickly, which means your balloon payment might be higher than the car is worth at the end of that contract. If you're not careful, you could end up owing more than the car is worth, a situation known as being upside down on your financial deal. So, should you go for a balloon payment? Well, it really depends on your financial situation and goals. If you are comfortable with the idea of having a large payment at the end of your term and you can plan for it, balloon payments can work well. They are excellent. I will always suggest it depending on what your needs are. They are especially useful if you know you won't be holding onto the car for well. If you are anticipating selling it before the balloon payment comes due, I always suggest that you look at the 3-year mark, because that is when your settlement and your car value kind of breaks even, and then I suggest you trade it in. But if you are someone who likes the peace of mind of owning a car outright and not worrying about a big lump sum payments at the end, a traditional finance plan with no balloon might suit you better. The Suzuki Swift, Renault Kwid, or the MG ZS could be great options if you want to keep things simple and not deal with a large payment at the end. Ultimately, the decision comes down to what works best for you, both in terms of monthly affordability and your long-term financial plans. So guys, that wraps up our conversation for today. I hope you now have a better understanding of how balloon payments work and whether it's the right choice for you when purchasing a vehicle in 2025. Remember to carefully consider your budget, your plans for the future, and how a balloon payment could fit into your lifestyle. Thanks for joining me on Finance and Fuel today. I'm Lizanne, and I'll see you next time with more tips and insight to keep you informed and driving smart. Safe travels!